That's depressing now. You've depressed me.
I don't with the coyotes. You're watching Two Dumb Guys. I'm Brian. This is Ed. We're the dumb guys mentioned in that title. A lot of crazy stuff happens in Florida.
Yeah.
They're just below us. They're the state below us, and we try to keep an eye on what's going on. Crazy stuff happening in Florida.
Gator hat.
Yeah, you have your gator hat on because we're talking about Florida. There's lots of gators there. We're even going to talk a little bit about some gators.
Gators.
Just wanted to look at some of the crazy stuff that's happened in Florida over the past few months. Just, it's been on.
Because we're staying fresh here.
Back in May of this year, Damian A. Sims was banned from a 7-Eleven in St. Petersburg, Florida for trespassing. Now, possibly as an act of revenge, and according to police reports, possibly under the influence, he returned to the 7-Eleven on August 1st with a bucket of feces and urine that he, quote, apparently obtained from a portable toilet, unquote. So a porta potty. He threw the waste onto the floor, and it splashed onto a straw hat and a do-rag with a total estimated value of $28.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that they've estimated the value of the merchandise ruined.
Yes. He was held on $300 bond, and he has been ordered to stay away from the 7-Eleven and its manager. So clearly, 7-Eleven is not taking any of this guy's
Not a sponsor.
So as far as revenge goes, bucket of feces and urine?
That's a pretty good one. I mean, it would be. I think it'd be better if it was his own.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it better?
Get primal, man. Return to your roots. We're all just big apes.
I mean, it's like I don't want to deal with any feces and urine more than I have to, but I'd rather deal with my own than some strangers from a porta potty. That's gross. That's where it becomes gross.
That's the line you draw?
Yeah, that's the line I draw. I mean, would you... I mean, as far as a form of revenge, though, like, there's a couple of Radio Shacks, if Radio Shack was still around, where I might do this. I've never been banned from anywhere, but I've been kicked out of 2 different Radio Shacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
For, loitering. Just walking around.
You've been looking at those Tandy computers for way too long. Get out of the Radio Shack.
You've played enough Prince of Persia for the day. I'm going to show you a picture of this guy here.
Now that's
his mugshot. Just like he's like, yeah, I did it.
That's a man right there.
I threw my on that floor. It weren't my
Why? I'm wondering why he dyed his hair. He's got blonde facial hair and like black head hair. Or maybe he dyed the beard.
Yeah, the carpet and the drapes definitely aren't matching.
I mean, he got a little. He got a couple little hints of gray.
Yeah.
And he got freaked out and he went out and bought some just for men, but he wasn't savvy enough to buy one that would match the beard.
Yeah. Or to just dye the beard too.
Well, yeah, he could have done that too, but maybe he was afraid about putting chemicals on his face. But he wasn't afraid about, like, digging feces and urine out of a porta potty to go throw at the 7-Eleven because I guess maybe he was, like, refilling his, like, big gulp too many times. Like, you get 1 refill a day. I know you bought the cup, and it says you get free refills.
Yeah.
But, 1 a day.
I don't know exactly. It was trespassing was originally what got him banned. So I don't know exactly. I mean, it's a public place, basically, so... Maybe they did.
He was doing something they didn't like.
Makes sense to me.
He did something they were not keen on.
Yeah, and he did something else they weren't too keen on.
Oh, yes, throwing feces.
Now, in July, another incident at a store, Robby Stratton went into a Safeway discount beverage in Jacksonville, Florida. He was carrying an alligator. Now, I've seen this. It's about a 4 or 5 foot alligator. So not a baby alligator, but not like a full-grown monster.
That's a good-sized alligator, though. 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah.
I mean...
He started walking around asking about the availability of beer. Are y'all out of beer? Stuff like that. And he chased some of the other customers around with that alligator. And then he posted the prank video on his Facebook. He notes that he had already been drinking heavily that night. And he has no memory of the event or how he got the alligator in the first place. At the time that this was went to press, it was undetermined as to whether there would be any criminal charges because it was unclear as to whether he had broken any laws. They just didn't know. It's like, what do we do with this guy?
We need to set a Google alert for Robby Stratton, because our boy Robby here,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
places.
goofster.
Yeah.
He's a prank machine. Okay. Like, he saw too many... He's going to start calling them social experiments eventually,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. But it did go viral. The video went viral on his Facebook.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
So we can watch this guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll put a link in the description.
Okay, yeah, definitely, because I need to watch this man, like, harassing people with a 5-foot alligator.
What would you do?
They had a beer! I mean, I'm wondering if they had beer. Like,
Because apparently they were...
Because he's clearly...
They were out.
He's clearly, quote, drunk as Cooter Brown.
Yeah.
And he's done went and, like, scooped the alligator up out of the swamp somehow. Without dying, mind you.
Yeah.
4 or 5 feet, it's still probably considered a baby alligator at that point, which means there was a mama alligator nearby.
Yeah. Well, it's not
That
quite a
would've just,
baby.
like-
it's like adolescent.
Oh.
It's probably old enough to be on its own.
Whatever. I read a study the other day.
It's
that
old enough to eat a
said
dog.
Parents worry about their grown children.
Yeah.
That crosses species lines, okay? You see some weird drunk human pedo scooping up your little gator baby child. He might be an adolescent.
Why is he a pedo?
Because it's an adolescent alligator. So clearly in the mama gator's mind, he's a pedo scooping up her kid. But he managed to do it. I'm wondering, like, this guy, he's got superpowers, I think.
Well,
Or something.
You know, I've done some drinking, but I've done stupid things while I've been drinking.
Yeah.
I've never done anything that stupid. Secondly, I also want to point out, like, I don't know that much about alligators, but I know enough not to fool with them. So clearly I know more about alligators than this guy does.
Or maybe we think we know more about alligators. Maybe alligators are really chill.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe
they
it was
do
a
their
well-fed pet alligator that wasn't going to attack, you know, but still.
I think there are probably laws against keeping an alligator as a pet.
July 15th, 2018, traffic on Route 19, Howie's Bridge in Tavares, Florida, got stopped for about an hour because there was a runaway emu that had made it to the bridge and just blocked the traffic. It had a leash on it, and for some reason it had a sock on its head. I don't know why. A couple of women got out of their cars, tried to shoo the giant bird off of the bridge, but it kept running back into the lanes of traffic. Eventually, police and animal control took the bird into custody. I want that. I want, like...
That needs to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
I need a video of that going viral all over Facebook and YouTube.
They did return the emu to
And
its
even
own.
Vimeo.
Yeah.
But why did it have a sock on its head?
I don't know. See, that
maybe emus are just and if you put a sock on their head, they become more docile.
I don't know if it had like a sock like covering its eyes, or if it just had like a sock stuck to its head, like it went through
like a beanie
laundry.
on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Like,
That was a little cold.
what would you do in this situation if you were in your car and there's like maybe a couple cars up, you see that there's an emu just running through the road? I mean, are you getting out to shoot away? I'm rolling up my window.
I mean, see, I'm thinking I'm rolling up the windows, locking the doors, and changing it away from, like, you know, whatever radio station I'm listening to something more soothing to the emu. Like maybe I'm going to NPR for some dulcet tones or classical music, because you don't want to be blasted, you know.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah, you want that.
Smooth jazz is good for calming an angry, confused emu.
Although, honestly, me, personally, if I saw that, I'm out. I'm out of the car. I'm not really rolling up the windows. I'm out of the car. I've got my phone out, and I'm like videoing the emu, because that's what you do.
Well, this
is 2018. You video everything now.
Yeah. We did have an incident here in Athens where there was a llama.
A llama
running around on the perimeter highway on the loop in Athens, and it got off and it was running up Epsbridge Road, and it went to the Cookout burger restaurant.
The llama just wanted a burger,
and was just like running around in the parking lot there. There's a great video online. I'll try to find a link to this as well, where the cops just kind of have him cornered, and it's just, you know, it's not like cornered like they were freaked out. They had tracked him down. They kind of got him stable, and they were just kind of hanging out and trying to figure out what to do with this damn llama that was running around town. And the llama's just sitting there doing its llama thing, just shaggy face, eyes half closed, like llamas do.
We had this situation. We're driving past the Target, and I'm like, Holy is that a coyote? I thought it was a statue. I swooped around, pulled into the Target parking lot. Not a statue, an actual coyote.
Yeah.
This is a large canine. And she gets out of the car and starts following it. And I could see it was limping. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I want to get a picture of it. Like, that is a wild animal and it's bigger than you.
Yeah, and
it could literally eat you.
So extra upset.
Yeah.
I saw a real scraggly, like, unhealthy llama or not llama, but coyote the other day, like a few months back that just, I think it was crossing the street to die or something. But,
that's depressing now. You've depressed me.
I don't with coyotes. All right, last one. Back on May 20th, 2018, Otis Dwayne Ryan. I've seen it reported as just Otis Dwayne and Otis Dwayne Ryan.
That right there that's a man's name.
Yeah.
Otis Dwayne Ryan.
He was a Florida resident. He got into some trouble in a Clearwater park. There's always weird stuff happening in Clearwater. Initially, he was approaching random female tourists and making inappropriate statements. Then a police officer actually happened to see him climb up on top of some sort of like play structure, like a children's play structure.
He's on the playground.
In a park. And he started lecturing all the young children that were around on how babies are born.
I love this guy.
So a bunch of parents rush over and like grab their kids and take them away. He was arrested. He was forced to pay a $118 fine and ordered to stay away from the park for obvious reasons.
He's teaching the children an important lesson. Okay. Oh my God, I love him.
Several face tattoos, basically covering the entire face.
That is brilliant. I love that.
And he's got a real like toothy kind of anger grin going there.
You know what? If in the event that I ever have children,
yeah,
I want him to teach my children where babies come from.
So you don't have
like
to.
What's his name again?
Otis Wayne.
Otis, I'm bringing you in, brother. This is your calling, Otis. Okay, you were meant to teach biology in a sense. You know, you're meant to tell these children about, you know, at what point, how many centimeters dilated you need to make it to the hospital. You're going to teach about breathing. So forth and so on. I don't really know much about childbirth because I don't have any kids, but Otis knows.
That's what I was thinking. Like, other than just making inappropriate statements to random tourist women, just to strange women, or women who are strangers. They're not necessarily strange, though they may be. Other than that part, he is the kind of dude that people, like, kids need in their lives. Like the inappropriate uncle, like that after Thanksgiving dinner, he sits you down and tells you a story about cocaine and sex and stuff. And, like, I don't know if he was just talking about the birth process or if he was also discussing the conception process, which would be, like, probably even more inappropriate for children to be hearing, young children.
I mean, maybe that's considered lewd. But maybe what he was saying to these women wasn't inappropriate comments. Maybe he was literally teaching grown adult women about childbirth.
Well, yeah, that would be consistent with what he was also telling the children.
That's what I'm saying.
So probably either way inappropriate. Just because no one's he's coming over. He's mansplaining childbirth to women, to adult women. It's like who probably know more about chances are know more about the process than he does, even if he hasn't. Even if they haven't had children.
Yeah.
Just because they have the parts.
I mean, and he's providing a public service, Otis.
Yeah.
Otis, carry on.
There's lots of other parks in Clearwater.
Teach the children. Because, Otis, I believe that the children are our future. Teach them well, Otis. Teach them well.
We want to sponsor Otis for his lecture series online. His online Where Babies Come From lecture series. And I wonder how accurate he was.
I mean, I'm backing Otis for governor of Florida. When's the next election? This year? Otis 18.
You got to start with mayor of Clearwater. Otis for mayor.
Otis for life.
Thanks for watching.
I think your cat's dead.